We're back here on the program, the platform this evening, and we are talking about body image today, and we are going to be speaking with two other people in addition to Nicole Farquharson and Jane Chalks, and Bianca is here. And during the break you told me that Jane Chalks plays in front of hundreds or thousands of people?
We do. We play in front of a lot of people. We've got bleachers in the seats, and when we're playing tournaments, there's a lot of what we call them railbirds that are sitting there watching us play while we're playing these big matches. So it's not just the person that you're playing, but you have all eyes on you. So there's a lot of people that are watching every little thing that you do, how you move, how your shirt is, how everything fits. We're watching you bend over a table and actually make your shot, and hopefully you make your shot and don't miscue or airball or do whatever. But all these people watching and judging you, not just on what you look like, but what you do as well. And if you do something well, they care a little bit less if your shirt fits as well. But if you are certainly a girl in the industry doing what we're doing, it doesn't matter if you're good or making shots or anything, you're gonna have 100 more people watching you.
So you have to be conscious about what you do.
All the time.
All the time.
But the best way to play pool is to focus on you and the table and not be conscious of anything else. You try to do the best that you can, and get set up and prepare yourself, and then forget about it. Forget the people are there, forget what they're saying, try not to listen to the oohs and the ahs. And I mean, you hear it when you make a shot and people are like, wow, and then they see you scratch and you can hear the whole crowd go, oh. And they go up and down with you, but it matters what you look like while you're playing, whether or not your pants fit, whether or not your shirt's riding up. And this is for boys as well as for girls. It's not just us. I mean, everybody's watching everything you do, certainly at this level.
So it's a lot of judgment. So that's what I was saying before. How do you get past people's judgment on you?
That's a good one for Nicole.
You have to first realize that it's their judgment. That's not even, it doesn't matter, but I firmly believe that, and we know that if somebody judges you, it's not actually you that they're judging, it's themselves. So whatever it is I don't like about me, I'm going to put that on you. Mm-hmm. I don't like the clothes you have on. I don't like the way it fits you. I think you should do this. I think you should do the other thing. Those are things that I think we should watch out for in friendships, family members, all of that. Like, if people cannot add to you in a healthy manner, it just makes no sense. And once you start to take that mentality on, you'll notice that it doesn't even matter.
So you would do what pleases you.
Yeah, you have to. At the end of the day, you have to.
Yeah, you know, you're wearing some things on your arm here, for instance, and you know, you're not checking for other people.
No, never have. Well, and the clothes I wear, anything I wear, no. Yeah.
It pleases you, so you're happy with yourself.
Most definitely.
And so you have to be comfortable with self.
Yeah, that was my reasoning for getting my piercings, my tattoos. It has nothing to do with trying to fit in with any particular genre of person. I like it.
But how do you build that filter to not really take all of the things that people are saying to you or about you and take that stuff to heart? How do you build that filter? What are you asking yourself? How are you dealing with the different opinions of all of these people that can be very judgmental?
I mean, I've dealt with it for a long time. Like, I can go to a restaurant sometimes, people don't want to touch anything that I touch because they automatically get afraid. And that's fine. By all means do that, but then at the end of the day, you have to ask yourself, is what happening right now, or anything that anyone is saying, how does this make me feel?
And how do you handle criticism? Do you handle criticism of your piercings, for instance? And because you know,
I've handled it
a
from
whole
family first.
lot of people. Yes, your family. What do they say?
They were the first. Well, I mean, my mom didn't really. She was just like, what's happening here? Because I think I pierced my eyebrows first, and then I just went full scale after that. And everyone else is just kind of like, oh. Do you want to go to church? How about church this weekend? Maybe we can go to church. I'm like, no, I don't want to go to church. I just want to be me. So that entails just hanging out, doing what I want to do, making sure that I'm comfortable with me. And that took a long time to do. The filter's always been there. I just had to activate it.
So you are living for self.
Yeah.
Pleasing self.
Yeah. If it doesn't feel good, you're going to know. Mm-hmm. Anything that you do. It's just like taking food in.
And if they don't like it, that doesn't sound like your problem. No, it sounds like theirs.
Exactly. I'm sorry to hear that. You call me later when you want to hang out. we can have a good time.
So what do you say to Bianca when she says she doesn't want to go on the beach because she doesn't want to show her midsection? She might be a little too fat around the midsection. What do you say to Bianca Vega?
I was lucky enough to do a workshop that Bianca was to at Studio Hana a few weeks back. And I stopped wearing short pants at age 18, and I started again recently. And I've taken some photos of myself and things that I would never wear because I don't like tight clothes, but now it's like, is this tight enough? Staple this right here. I like it. But like I constantly tell her, this is something that you're doing in here, taking on just things. I think you're looking at the wrong things, you're hearing the wrong things. You have to sit down and be, like I said, real with you. Which means if you don't like something that you're gonna have on, bathing suit, whatever it is, get in the mirror. Go do a yoga class, go to the gym, do something. Once you start on that track of feeling good and doing what's good for your mind and your body, you won't care.
I'm lucky enough to have Nicole as my great friend, and we speak all the time, so I'm able to bounce these things off of her. And what she does is she sends me positive messages about myself all the time, or tells me to do these things, and tell about the rewording, how you rethink the things. Like, I'm not fat, I have fat.
Yeah,
she says,
it's just you have to turn
stop
words
saying
around.
that you're fat. You're not fat, you have fat. And now you're out there working hard to change that fat, so to lose that. So it's all these little subtle messages, and then I go out there and I'm getting better. And then I went with Jane and we went to Atlantis, and I didn't feel like I knew anybody, so I was out there showing everything. And then I realized I did know all the lifeguards, but
And not one of them said anything, and they were all happy to see you.
Because it's all in your
And it
mind.
doesn't matter
It's all
whether
in your
you're this
mind.
big or you're that big, they're happy to see you, and really they're happy to see the smile on your face going out there and having a good time, and they're pleased as punch that you'll talk to them.
It's all in my head, and I think that we have to watch the messages that we give to people. We have to watch if we're telling people our opinion on how they look, and they didn't ask for our opinion, you know? I think in the Bahamas, what I've realized a lot more than other places that I've been to actually is that when I'm dressed up and out and I've gained weight, a lot of people really want to let me know that they notice that I gained weight too. Like, girl, you're so big, what happened? You put on all these pounds and everything. I know this. For me, it doesn't help me, you know. Some people, it does help them. It helps them to get
motivate
working on
you
it, and
to
it
do it.
motivates them. But for me, it doesn't help me.
Yeah.
So I think we have to watch how we address people also.
Well, shouldn't you aspire to look a particular way, to have such an image that is so pleasing, that you are attractive to other people?
But is it pleasing to you or him, or
That's
is
the
it
thing.
pleasing to me? This is pleasing to her. This is pleasing to me, whether I'm 200 pounds or 100 pounds. It's nice if I can please you too. That's lovely, but really it's got to please me. I've got to be happy with it.
Yes, but if you are obese, shouldn't you look in the mirror and say, listen, you know, I can do better than this.
But can you? Is it a disease? Is there a reason?
I should watch what I eat. I should exercise a little more. Shouldn't you take some pride in your presentation?
You should. You should take some pride in your presentation and be willing to stand behind whatever you're putting out there. But if being obese is part of who you are and your gregarious nature, and you're going to eat what you want, you're going to do what you want, and that's how you want to live, you just have to own it and say, this is who I am, and this is the energy I'm putting out into the world. And if it pleases you, great. And if it doesn't, that doesn't sound like my problem.
But it seems that some people would believe that you have a problem with respecting self, that you allow yourself to just go. You allow yourself to just be a glutton and just eat a whole lot and put on a whole lot of weight.
I allowed myself to enjoy the pleasures of life. Is that so wrong?
The pleasures of life.
Sometimes, some of those foods, oh man, you can't tell me that's
But the
wrong.
pleasures of life.
The cheesecake that I had, the delicious steak that I had, all the dinners that I have. It's amazing when you can go out and eat pasta and pizza and enjoy the food that you want.
Yes, but if you see yourself ballooning, getting fat,
then perhaps you should cut back on what you're doing. Perhaps. but I'm enjoying my life now, and do I want to will I regret not having that piece of cheesecake? Maybe, because it might have been really, really good cheesecake. I should have salad instead of having the steak because I might have to pay for it later. Maybe it's an indulgence. Maybe it's a seldom indulgence. Maybe you do try to control yourself more as you go along. But again, that's still me. I get to decide that. It has nothing to do with respect. It's whether or not I want to enjoy living my life, or do I wait and eat salad until I'm smaller so then I can go enjoy my life.
But your body is supposed to be a temple, and shouldn't you have some self-respect for
Don't we all worship in different ways, though?
Yeah. No, we're not talking
if it's
about
my no, it's my temple. I can worship my temple in the way that I like.
But we are trying to get to be our most healthy self right now. That is what we're trying to do, and we know that the problem.
But how can you be your most healthy self when you decide that you're going to eat a cheesecake every day?
Well, that's the thing, is that we need
eat a
to
couple
learn.
of cheeseburgers every day.
We cannot do that. Like, we have to learn now what foods should we be putting in our body, what meditations should we be doing, what kind of walking and exercise should we be doing, because we're trying to get to be our most healthy self now, and we have to let other people know these tricks and these tips to help them to not be overeating, to not think to say yes to all these foods. That's the problem, how we got big in the first place.
I endorse that. I endorse that. But Jane doesn't believe that. Jane believes that you should be able to do whatever you want to do, eat whatever you want to eat.
I know you need to be able to accept whatever you've done, and you need to be able to take what people.
Even if you are irresponsible.
Even you have to accept. Absolutely, you have to accept when you've been irresponsible and the results for it, and you can accept to change that if that's what you want to do. But it's not up to the other people to tell me that's what I need to do. You don't need to tell me that I'm big. I know that. I don't need other people to tell me these things. I need to make that change, and no one's going to make that change for me. And people embarrassing you to tell you things that you already know, that's not helping you. Now, how do you deal with that? How do you deal with it when someone comes up and tells you you're big or something? What filters are you using to internalize those things, or let them go?
We are going to be speaking with Alexis Beth, a life coach, in a short while, and I'm sure she is one of these people who tell people, well, you need to improve here, you need to improve there. Don't you want your loved ones to tell you how to improve? No,
I want my loved ones to love me no matter where I am. They're my loved ones for a reason.
We'll see what Alexis has to say about that. But you get the drift?
I get you. I think in order to be physically healthy, you have to be mentally healthy.
Yes.
Or at least on the way there. And a lot of people are going to do what they want to do. It's our bodies. We have to accept, like she's saying, we have to accept who we are. At the end of the day, that's not for you to accept me or anyone else to do it. I have to do that.
But if I have a family member and I see that they are getting bigger, they have a problem with obesity, I know that it is going to eventually impact their health with diabetes or hypertension, as we spoke of last week. Don't I have a responsibility as a loved one to say to them, well, I think you should watch what you eat. I think you should exercise a little more.
I think the way we approach people should be monitored as well, though. Because I can't just run into you and tear you down like that.
No, I have to know. Down.
I have to know how to approach you in a manner that's going to make you sit and listen, and want to take that in and make these subtle changes. So if I can't lead you in some way, then I can't just tell you. I also have to be there to kind of guide. If you get what I'm saying, you can't just.
Well, and how you say it is really important. I think you hit it. So if I say that in the middle of Thanksgiving dinner when everybody's around and say, "Oh my God, are you going to have another helping of that?" That's not helpful. But if I take you aside afterwards and we start talking about, hey, you know what, let's go do a yoga class next week and start trying to be proactive with you, that's a completely different conversation to have one-on-one with somebody and show them that you care, as opposed to embarrassing them in front of your whole family, which just makes them feel worse, and then they want to eat more. But you've done exactly the opposite.
A lot of people don't know how to talk with people. We talk at people. That's a serious thing. We always talk at people instead of just sitting and saying, hey, what's going on with you? You want to talk about it? That would be my first approach. Like, what's happening? You know what I mean? Don't just, like you're saying, sit at a family dinner and just automatically tear people down. So the first thing I would do is watch my approach, and I'm quite certain we'd get it sorted out. So you can't just always approach something with these willy-nilly thoughts, thinking, you really need to be on a diet. You look quite horrible. Let me see if I can talk to you about that. hey, so what's been going on in your life? No, we can't do that.
Well,
We can't, we shouldn't.
Nicole, there are some people, you see them, and because they are disheveled, they are unkempt, you have to wonder whether they love self. Let's talk about
You'd
that.
be surprised, a lot of people do. Like, you see people that live on the streets. They're the most happiest, mentally free people you'll ever find. Yet we look at them and we look down and we talk at them and talk down to them, but they live a far better life than we do.
But don't we have a responsibility to help them if you
We
see
all do. We
that
all
they
do. We
are
cannot
disheveled and
in
they
leaving
are
this planet
unkempt?
or this life without helping others, you've diminished all reason for you being here. It makes no sense.
Okay, good. Let's take a break here. And we are so happy to be having this conversation today, but because we are talking about image. This is all, it all has to do with mental health as well, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, thank you, Jane Chalks and Nicole Fackerson. When we return, we're going to be having a conversation with Alexis Bethel and Gigi Ali. Bianca is not going anywhere. We'll come back.